If you've been anywhere on the internet in the last few months, you've probably come across this game, with its simple yet addicting mechanics, epic soundtrack, and an intriguing cast of characters. This is the Friday Night Funkin Iceberg Explained. Oh yeah, much like my other iceberg videos, I'll be using this bar to indicate how much is known about each entry. And, for the remainder of the video, I'll be shortening Friday Night Funkin, Boyfriend and Girlfriend to FNF, BF and GF respectively. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps me out. Now, let's start off with The Sky. Newgrounds trailer. Released on November 16th, 2020, this trailer was the first glimpse of FNF that anybody had seen before the game was released. It introduced many of the main characters, including BF, GF, and Dad, alongside setting up some of the game's main plot. It also revealed some unreleased playable characters that I'm going to cover in a later entry on this iceberg. Intro scene text. Similar to the Minecraft splash screen text, whenever you start a game of Friday Night Funkin', different text has a chance of being displayed in the opening sequence, with some notable examples being shoutouts to Tom Fulp, like Parappa but cooler, and better than Geometry Dash. Main characters. While there are many characters in the FNF universe, there are really 5 main recurring characters, these being BF, GF, Dad, Mom, Monster, and Pico. I'm counting Pico as a main character because he appears prominently in 2 different weeks. Source code. One of the best aspects of FNF is definitely its massive modding scene, which is all thanks to the game's source code being open source, which means it's available to anyone that's willing to download it. This has led to several popular mods, including Tricky Mod and High Effort. Developers. FNF is being developed by a team of 4, which consists of Ninja Muffin 99, the programmer, Kawaii Sprite for the soundtrack, alongside Phantom Arcade and Evil Skater for the artwork. ZZZ.png. ZZZ.png is a black and white illustration of what appears to be the BF that was hidden in the game's files. We still have no idea what it means, or what it was intended for, so it was likely just a placeholder. Senpai looks at the player. Unlike any other opponent currently in the game, when facing off against them in some of their animation frames, they will look directly at the player as if to acknowledge the player's existence, which is quite unsettling. FNF Prototype. This refers to the FNF prototype that was released for Ludum Dare 47, which featured only the first week and no tutorial. This prototype also included some variations on the art assets, but included fully functional gameplay. Week 2 Missing Song. Until the release of the Week 7 update, Week 2 would consist of only 2 songs, being Spookies and South. Upon the release of the update, a new track that was actually hidden in the game's files, called Monster, was added to Week 2, featuring the Lemon Demon, which we will talk about later. BFLOL.png. BFLOL.png is this image here, which is from the secret alternate retry screen that has an extremely rare chance of being triggered. If I were to speculate on why this is here, I would probably guess that this was some kind of Easter egg. GF and other characters move to the beat. Pretty self-explanatory, but all the characters, and even the background animations, will move to the beat, which is a pretty nice little touch that just adds to the feel of the game. Blue Balls. As the name would suggest, when the BF fails to keep up with the music, he gets blue balls. As you can see from the retry screen image here, they're blue. We know this is the official name because it's counted in the pause menu for each song. Kickstarter. As of uploading this video, the Kickstarter for FNF, the full-ass game, has reached way over $1 million in funding, which really just demonstrates how massive the fanbase for this game has become. That being said, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we'll be getting that PS1 version. Still pretty cool nonetheless. Removed and unused assets. As is often the case with game development, many assets end up being removed or unused over time. This is no different with FNF. By the way, this entry is going to be a bit long, so buckle up. We have this basic sketch of the stage background from the prototype, an overhead stage light, original GF assets from the prototype, unused Christmas assets for the GF, Week 5 BF doing his V-pose in the Christmas outfit, Week 6 BF doing the V-pose, unused attack animations for BF, unused skid and pump animations from the Season 2, unused Pico player Miss sprites, unused icons, original monster sprites, Lucky Boy sprites and animations, FNF prototype logo, FNF prototype text, Stalker concept images including a cat version, Henchmen sprite and animations including a death animation, this untextured 3D model of BF, and a screenshot of NinjaMuffin99's Twitch chat put into the game's files as a joke. There are also a few unused sound files. Voice actors. All characters in FNF are voiced by Kawaii Sprite, except for Mum, who is voiced by Lolit Monica, Skid and Pump, who are voiced by Senor Pello, and Monster, who is voiced by Bassett Films. BF in Spooky Month. BF can be seen in a small cameo appearance in Senor Pello's Spooky Month, as you can see here. Lemon Demon. The Lemon Demon, officially known as Monster, is this character here that appears in Week 2 and Week 6. The Lemon Demon is often misattributed to being a Neil Cicierega reference. However, this is not actually the case. At an earlier stage of development, the Lemon Demon took a much different form from what we see today, as you can see here. Week 5 cameos. Week 5 includes the following cameos in the background: Darnell from Pico's school, Zone Tan, Jason, Chris, and Stan from Nightmare Cops. On the second floor, we have Pico, Kenstar from Girl Chan in Paradise web series, Buggy the Bug, Cool Dude, Blockhead from the Blockhead web series, Meat Boy from Super Meat Boy, Chris, also known as Oni, Zach, also known as Psychic Pebbles, Sublo and Tangy Mustard from the Sublo and Tangy Mustard web series, Henry Stickmin, Monster, and Hatsune Miku, DDR, and Parappa Inspiration. If you've played either Dance Dance Revolution or Parappa the Rapper before, you'll immediately notice the similarities between each game and FNF. This is in fact by design, as the developers have stated that FNF is heavily inspired by both games. Modding scene. As mentioned previously, the modding scene is pretty extensive for Friday Night Funkin', with mods that add characters from other series, and new songs for existing characters. If you're ever feeling like trying something new in FNF, you can't go wrong with a few mods. Pico is hired to kill BF by Daddy Dearest. As confirmed in a livestream by Phantom Arcade, Pico was hired by Daddy Dearest as a mercenary to kill Boyfriend after the events of Week 1, but he doesn't actually go through with it. Darnell in FNF. It has been rumoured that Darnell from Darnell Plays with Fire and Pico's School is going to be added to FNF as an opponent or even a playable character. However, he is currently only seen as a cameo in Week 5. Pico playable character. If you remember earlier in the Iceberg, I mentioned that the Newgrounds teaser trailer announced playable characters being added to the game, including Pico. Although he isn't officially playable, there are many animation files in the game, which suggest he might be playable in the game soon. Winter Horrorland growling sound. Between 30 and 32 seconds in the Winter Horrorland song, a low growling noise can be heard. This particular sound only comes from the track's left audio channel, and as antagonists usually stand to the left of the screen, this could be the monster's stomach grumbling. It could also be something else. Henry Stickmin in FNF. There has been a lot of speculation about upcoming characters in FNF, one of these being Henry Stickmin, as he can be seen in the background of Week 5. Although he hasn't officially been announced yet, if you're dying to play as Henry Stickmin, there is a very high quality mod with custom animations and songs that you can play instead. Mostly nobody speaks English. In the FNF universe, it is exceedingly rare for characters to speak any English. However, in Week 7, we are shown that BF can clearly understand what Tankman is saying by his reactions. This would lead us to assume that BF does understand English, but chooses to speak in beeps instead. Dad and Mom robbing the mall. This is just a theory that states Dad and Mom are actually robbing the mall in week 5. I've looked into this myself and I can't seem to find any concrete evidence of this, so if you have some, do feel free to let me know in the comments below. Fake BF names. Although BF doesn't actually have an official name yet, there have been many posts and videos speculating on what his real name could be. Some examples of these include Evan, Cam, and Keith. We know for a fact his name isn't Keith, as one of the title screen texts reads, "His name isn't Keith, dumb eggy lol." Battle Mode. Battle Mode is an upcoming mode for FNF, in which 2 players can go against each other in a 1v1 duel on a variety of tracks. This mode has yet to appear in the current versions of FNF. Originally planned intro. In a Twitch stream, one of the game's developers, Phantom Arcade, described the original idea for the intro. Here's the clip.
The intro that was planned ever since even the initial version was that, like, you see a calendar where all the days fall off the calendar till it's Friday, and then it pans down. You see the boyfriend and the girlfriend, and they're very joking and cartoonishly, where you can't really see much of anything. It's implied they're about to have sex. And the boyfriend, he Lupin dives, like in the Lupin the Third opening. He's about to dive into her pussy. But then the dad yanks her by her collar up and like grabs her. And then she's held up like by a puppy by her scruff. And the boyfriend looks 20 million miles up into the sky. And then the shadow cast by the dad. And the dad is angry. And the dad throws her over onto the stereo and flicks his fingers. And it turns out they were on the stage the whole time. And then that's where like the opening of the game starts.
Old logo retry screen. In the prototype version of FNF, a different retry screen was used that you can see on screen here. You'll notice the text in the background and the different font. Debug mode. The debug menu is accessed by pressing 7 during any track. This allows for you to edit the scene and the track and is used for testing purposes during the game's development. Among the functionality you would expect from a debug mode, you also get access to change characters in the scene, change the song, and it also allows you to swap the player's notes with the AI. Intended RPG. This is another speculation entry that states that the original concept for Friday Night Funkin was that it would be an RPG similar to Undertale, with the rap battle mechanic being used instead of a traditional turn-based battle mechanic. This also explains the unused boyfriend attack animations that can still be found in the game's files. Lucky Boy sprite sheet. Lucky Boy is a character created by DomRom Art on Twitter that was accidentally snuck into the game, but was later removed as it was not officially part of FNF. However, there is speculation that Lucky Boy will eventually appear in an upcoming week. Senpai's death. You might not know that Senpai is the first antagonist in FNF to canonically die after being forcefully trapped within the dating simulator game, possibly by Daddy Dearest. However, this is yet to be confirmed. Hatsune Miku in FNF. As mentioned in a previous entry, Hatsune Miku can be seen in the background of Week 5 as a cameo appearance. This has led to speculation that an upcoming week may include the character. However, for now, there is an extensive mod which features the character that you can play instead. Evil Tree. Evil Tree is a character that comes from the Versus Tree mod, in which Boyfriend has to rap battle against a talking tree. As the battle progresses, the tree becomes increasingly angry, with it eventually turning into the Evil Tree on the track Revolution. BF and GF mini facts. Here are some mini facts about BF and GF that didn't really fit into their own entries. Did you know that, according to the Friday Night Funkin wiki, BF loves pepperoni pizza from Domino's? Confirmed in this tweet by NinjaMuffin99, GF loves cherry Dr. Pepper. According to Phantom Arcade, both GF and BF are 19 years old, and as seen on the wiki, BF is a college dropout. Stan from Nightmare Cops. This one is a bit vague, but I'm going to assume that this is in reference to a post by Quackerjack, in which they did a pitch shift analysis of the song that shows that it aligns with Stan's voice. I'm going to leave the full post in the description if you're interested in the details. Alternatively, this could also be a reference to an image of Stan from Nightmare Cops being in the game's files. Unused dialogue boxes. In the files for FNF, there are some unused dialogue boxes. As of making this video, only Week 6 implements dialogue for Senpai and The Spirit. Week 4 dancers references an unused def. The design of the Week 4 background dancers, also known as henchmen, takes inspiration from several sources, including the clothing style from Bobby Brown in Every Little Step, the sunglasses from Mac Tonight, the flat top hairstyle and toothy grin from Powerline in A Goofy Movie, alongside the overall demonic appearance from Dabura in Dragon Ball Z. Also, Phantom Arcade has confirmed that the henchmen would die during Week 4, which explains this unused def animation. However, this is not actually seen in-game. Spirit. Spirit appears as a pixelated ghastly spectre. His form takes the shape of a grotesque floating red face, surrounded by a darker red aura. After bursting out of Senpai's face, he reveals that he was trapped inside the game by Daddy Dearest. With the final track, Spirit plans to defeat BF by taking both his and GF bodies for himself. That way he can finally escape the game. Mo Concept 1. Mo Concept 1 is this image of the Stalker that can be found in the game's files that appears to be covered in blood. As this character hasn't been officially added to the game yet, we don't know what the context behind this image is. DD causes Week 6. This entry suggests that DD causes Week 6. He is briefly mentioned by the Spirit as he says, "I'll make her father pay for what he did to me and all the others." He also mentions that DD forcefully trapped the Spirit within the dating simulator. Hence, it is entirely possible that he could have trapped both BF and GF in the game as well. Ape FNF. This image was in the game's files until it was removed in the Week 5 update. Prior to that update, the image had a very small chance of appearing when opening the game, making it a very rare Easter egg. Pico's gun pointing at the player. You'll notice that in Week 3, Pico isn't pointing the gun at BF, but is actually pointing it directly into the camera. I really don't think this is actually intentional, but what do you guys think? The game is set in Philadelphia in 2020/2021. Although we cannot currently confirm that FNF is set in Philadelphia during every week, we do know that Week 3 is definitely set in Philadelphia by the name of one of the songs being Philly Nice, and the background looking somewhat like Philadelphia. We don't currently know the exact time that each week is set, except for Week 5 being set at Christmas, so it is entirely possible that the game is set in 2020/2021. However, this has not yet been confirmed in-game. Smash, Ridge, and other upcoming or unused music. There are currently 3 unused music tracks in the game. These tracks are Ridge, which is a track from the game Ridge Racer Type 4 that was charted into the game as a joke by NinjaMuffin99 and is actually playable using the debug menu. Smash, which was supposed to be a version of the Break the Target song from Super Smash Bros. Melee. The version you can find in the game now is currently very short and broken. Fun fact, this was the first chart that NinjaMuffin99 made for the game. And Test, which, as you probably guessed, was used for testing purposes. The track was found during the Week 5 update, with a vocal track and chart being added in Week 7. Console and mobile ports. There are currently several ports of FNF that are either rumoured or confirmed to be releasing in the future. Firstly, we have the mobile, including iOS and Android port, which was the $85,000 stretch goal for the Kickstarter. There is also a rumoured Switch port in the works, however, there is currently no confirmation of this coming out yet. A PlayStation 1 port was teased on the game's Kickstarter, but unfortunately the stretch goal for this was not met in time. That being said, I'm certain that the game will eventually be available on all current gen consoles at some point in the future. GF ducking animation. Hidden in the game's files, there is an animation of GF ducking which you can see here. This animation is from a cut feature where a stage light would drop down and the player would have to dodge them. As this feature wasn't implemented, this animation goes unused. Cat Stalker. The Cat Stalker is an unreleased character that can be found in the game's files for MM. Unlike the regular Stalker, they are depicted as a cat/human hybrid. As this character has yet to be added into the game, it is rumoured that they were either scrapped or are going to be used during an upcoming week. Maybe we'll find out more in week 8. The extent of MM and DD's powers. Throughout each week of FNF, we have been given glimpses of M and D's powers, most interestingly in week 6 where the spirit explains that DD trapped him within the dating simulator. Also, both characters being demons means that they may have a lot in common with the lemon demon. BF dies when you lose. If you've made it this far into the video, firstly, thank you for watching this far, and secondly, you should know that when you get a game over in FNF, boyfriend gets blue-balled. Well, what if we told you that this isn't true, and when you lose, BF actually dies, as depicted by his skeleton on the game over screen? Okay, probably not. The victims of DD and MM. As of the week 7 update, DD and MM have killed the Mall Santa in week 5, attempted to murder BF in week 3 by hiring Pico as a hitman, and trapped the spirit in the dating simulator game, leaving him for dead. Guest characters confirm a shared universe, with the sheer amount of guest characters that are included in the game from different media properties, and cameos of the FNF characters in those properties. As you saw in one of the previous entries, we could theorize that all these games live in the same shared universe as FNF, which is pretty crazy to think about. The language used to sing is a legitimate language. This entry suggests that the language of beeps and boops that you hear from the characters during each track is its own language that could possibly be translated into English. This ties into a previous entry where we discussed that several characters in FNF can understand and even speak English. Maybe someday we will be able to decode these songs and uncover the secret lyrics behind them. GF isn't real theory. And finally we have GF isn't real theory. This theory states that many of the characters, including GF, DD and MM, aren't real, and are just figments of BF's imagination as he slowly loses his mind throughout each week. In some weeks he meets the Lemon Demon, who is a manifestation of BF's decaying mental state. He also runs into Pico, BF's only friend, who is trying to prevent him from losing his mind. But that's just a theory.
A game theory! Thanks for watching!